If you've never been to the Chautauqua-Allegheny region, it's definitely worth the trip.
This beautiful county has more farms than any in the U.S., and waterfront property is everywhere.
But let's be honest, when I go, I want to check out the breweries.
Matt ventured out to Lakewood, New York, and got to visit a craft beer giant, Southern Tier Brewing. I think it's safe to say he was over the moon about it.
Oh, that's Steinecker Brewhouse? Well, you just gotta see it to understand. Visiting Southern Tier today, you'd have no idea that it had humble beginnings. The campus is home not only to the brewery, but an enormous warehouse and even a distillery. Its beautiful grounds and wetland preserve boast 2 tap rooms, an outdoor patio and stage, and even a stones course, making it the perfect place for visitors to kick back on a summer day. Founder Finn DeMink started out brewing with his brother-in-law in Ellicottville, New York, and then learned production brewing at Goose Island. In 2002, the opportunity presented itself to purchase used brewing equipment for pennies on the dollar, and Southern Tier was born. But the taste of craft beer was still new to upstate New Yorkers, and Finn had to work hard to build the business.
In the early years, I spent a lot of time driving across New York State trying to get wholesalers to just pick our products up.
How did it go?
It took some time. In those days, the interest didn't exist. You know, I'd go in and wholesalers would refer to craft as, oh, this is that funny beer that we've been hearing about. For every yes, you got 20 no's.
But the people who said yes, their eyes must have lit up when they first tried that.
The funny thing is, once you get into craft beer, you don't go back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you've found something, you've discovered something, and it's good, it's amazing. I just said, we've got to package beer, we've got to bottle beer. We can't just fill kegs, we'll never survive. So I started going to the chains that would listen, that were into gourmet products, and I was able to get my beer into their coolers.
Yeah.
And that was a big game changer for us.
A lot has changed since those early days. Southern Tier has grown to be one of the largest craft breweries in the country, with distribution to 38 states. You may know them by their famous Pumpkin Imperial Ale, but they also offer a broad range of styles and flavors that are born out of creative collaboration and skilled technique. Do you still do a lot of the brewing now?
I do a lot of the innovation. Now we have an innovation team. So it's a little bit more of a calculated process. It has some analytics, it has creativity. So it's different, but it's still fun.
Take me through the process of how a new beer comes to be made.
We have a bucket that's just full of crazy innovations. You know, some things are safe, some things are risky. And anybody in our building, on our sales team, they can throw anything into this bucket.
What's a really risky idea that you're never gonna do?
There's been bubblegum beer. One of the things incorporated Mountain Dew. So I mean, there's just really oddball stuff, but you never know. You never know what's gonna be the next greatest thing.
Sure. Well, I know down in the city recently, the chocolate orange people were talking about, and that was delicious.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely found a niche with our dessert beers.
Yeah.
10% rich stouts that resemble desserts like creme brulee or chocolate orange. You know, I remember every year at Christmas, I'd get those little orange chocolates that you whack and they open up. You know, some of the inspiration just comes from simple things like that.
It's amazing that Blackwater series really delivers on the flavor it's promising too. How is brewing different now than when you first opened?
Definitely now, as we're producing larger volumes, as we're shipping to broader territories, quality really starts to become a primary focus. So with that, you need to start upgrading your equipment. You need packaging lines that deliver low levels of dissolved oxygen, which stales beer. Because we don't pasteurize, we have to be very sanitary. And then, you know, like I upgraded the equipment to have automation. You know, I remember the early days when I was running around the kettles and flipping valves, and you know, I was really part of the process. I was the process.
Yeah.
I want my brewers to be focused on making sure that the hops go in at the right time, that the enzyme activity is correct so the beer ends up at the right dryness or the right sweetness, the things that matter.
I got the chance to see the automation Finn was talking about firsthand. Southern Tier's VP of Brewing and Operations, Matt Dunn, took me behind the scenes of this massive high-tech brewery.
To the malt room, guys! So this is gonna be our malt cleaning room. We receive 50,000 pound shipments of malt. There's rocks and wire and a lot of dust in that malt, so we need to clean it before we put it in our wet mill.
This is a really serious apparatus for cleaning malt.
Yes, it is, yep. If we don't clean our malt really well, we're gonna ruin our wet mill.
Gotcha. All right, what's next?
We send this malt over to the mill. Let's check it out. So So this is brew house 1. This is a 110 barrel brew house. So about every 3 hours, we're starting a batch that's gonna end up as 110 barrels of beer.
Yeah.
It was custom made for us by Steinecker in Germany in 2012. Brought over here on boats, and we built this building around it.
It's very clean.
Yeah, thank you. We pride ourselves on keeping it really, really clean.
So can I touch this?
No, you cannot touch these vessels.
And so what are these massive tanks here?
So we have a 5-vessel brew house. Our wet mill is actually under that vessel. That's our grist case, our mash tun, our lauter tun, our kettle, and our whirlpool. From here, once we make the wort, we're gonna send it over to the cellar and pitch yeast into it. So let's go check it out.
Cool.
So welcome to the yeast room. From our brew house, we send wort all the way across the building, 300 yards, into this valve nest.
Wow.
The same automation that controls our brew house controls this valve nest and all the machinery in this room where we grow yeast, store yeast, and pitch yeast.
And this is all controlled through this computer system here.
That's right. The same software that controls our brew house also controls the yeast room.
All right, so once the yeast is pitched, then
Yep,
what?
We put yeast in the wort. We're going to send it to one of the cellars. Let's check out cellar 2.
Love it.
This is the big cellar, or our outdoor cellar. We have 12 660 and 880 barrel tanks in this room. So they're really big and they stick out above the building. That's why we call it the outdoor cellar.
So these are the bottoms and they go really high.
That's right. They go about 4 stories up in the air.
Wow.
Yep. So there's about 12,000 12-ounce bottles in one of these 660s.
Oh, I know you have a big state-of-the-art canning line too.
Yep, we sure do. And it's right in the next room over here.
All right, let's go take a look.
Let's check it out. Welcome to the can line, Matt.
Wow, this thing is really big and really loud.
Yeah, it sure is. We're scrambling right now to keep up with Overpack, our 15-can variety pack that has 3 different cans of 5 different beers in it.
Yeah. So this is Pilsner you're canning now.
This is Pilsner right now, and we're packaging it into these open 30-pack trays, which are then sent off to a third party to mix into the variety pack.
What percentage of your beer is being sold in cans?
We're about 15% cans right now, about 50% bottles, and 35% draft.
And the can is growing or not?
Yep, cans are definitely growing, mainly driven by that Overpack can variety pack.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for showing me around today. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a really impressive facility.
Sure, thanks for coming out. Loved having you.
Thanks, man.
All right, cheers.
Cheers indeed. Before we left, Matt took good care of our crew with fresh samples.
Yeah, right off the line.
Nothing more refreshing than a perfect Pilsner. But this wasn't the last sample I'd enjoy at Southern Tier. We're back in the tap room, and I'm about to have an experience that not many people are going to get. Finn is going to give me a guided tasting of 3 of their beers. So what do we have here?
We have our IPA, our new school IPA, and we also have our 3 citrus peel out.
All right, I know I like this IPA, so let's start there.
Yep, so this is legacy beer. We've been making this since 2003. It's a little bit more malty, very pronounced bitterness, and it's kind of got your classic C hops, Cascade, Centennial, Columbus. Very balanced beer.
Yeah, to me, that's what I think of as like a classic IPA of the region.
So the next beer that we have is New School IPA. 60 IBUs, it's 6% alcohol. It's a smoother beer, drier finish, not as malty. The hops that we use in this are more tropical. So we have Equinox, Mosaic, and those hops are very pineapple, passion fruit.
And just to be clear, those are notes that we're getting from the hops. No fruit is added.
There is no fruit in New School. That tropical flavor is all coming from the pedigree of hops. So where this has 2.5 pounds per barrel, this is about 4 pounds per barrel. And you know, I love them both.
Yeah.
I go old school and I go new school all the time. We also have our 3 citrus peel out, which is a summer innovation. It pushes the envelope of flavor, extremely citrus forward, 8% alcohol, sparkling clean, and also something that could potentially drift between the lines of beer and cocktails.
It does taste like a mimosa to me. I mean, it even finishes dry. It's got like a vinous wine quality in the way it finishes to me.
Yep, I mean, definitely people that are more wine drinkers than IPA drinkers can identify with this product.
Sure.
Yeah. It's good boat beer. We like boat beer here in Chautauqua County.
Well, thank you so much for showing these to me. I've been following your story from the city, but it's really great to meet you. It must be really edifying to see how far you've come.
It is, it's rewarding, but you know, the most rewarding thing is that it's never felt like a job. It's always been a a hobby,
Amazing.
a big hobby.